Hey everybody, how you doing? Had a live Q&A yesterday on my coaching, Spec home coaching website, which we've got weekly live Q&As every Thursday. We've been doing it for an hour, sometimes a little bit more than that. There's some other features on the website as well, resources, other videos. But anyways, I wanted to go over one of the questions that came up in the Q&A, and that was, how are you dealing with the shortages of materials, the extended lead times, certain things, products not being available? That's what the question was. And it's definitely tough. I mean, the biggest impact is longer build time. I mean, we went from, this I guess is probably getting close to 2 years ago now, where an average build time for us was about 5.5 months. Build time for that same home now today is closer to 8 months. And there's really nothing we can do about it. I mean, we order exterior doors, windows, trusses, the plumbing, like tub shower modules, or if we're gonna do like a 3-piece shower unit through Sterling or Acker, something like that. Those need to be ordered far in advance, because those need to go in right after the home is framed. So, the reason that we order windows, trusses, well, let's just start the trusses, windows, the tub shower mods, exterior doors. So trusses are the first thing that we're going to need once the framers are to a certain point. So we want to make sure those are ordered far enough in advance. If we've got a month-long lead time on trusses, then we need to order those trusses a month before the framers are going to be ready for them. Windows, as soon as they're done doing trusses and putting the roof sheathing on, they can take between 2 and 4 days depending on how big the roof is, and then we're going to be ready for the windows and exterior doors. Those are going to be the very next thing that, in most cases, the framers are going to set. So again, we want to make sure we're ordering those as far enough in advance as we can. And so that's been one of the things that has been delaying us, our windows and doors. Normally, we would order those, at the time that we're going in for permit, or around the time that we're digging the hole, and you'd have a 4 or 5 week lead time. They'd be there when the framers were done setting the roof, and then they were there for the framers to basically set right away. Well, now the windows have extremely long lead time. So the framers framing up the home, they're setting the trusses, putting the roof sheathing on, and then they're having to go to another job of ours until the windows get delivered. And that certainly delays things. It definitely delays things. So that's one of the delays that we have to account for. And there's really nothing that we can do. I mean, you can only order windows so far in advance. And in order to order the windows, you got to know, okay, are they double hung or single hung? What type of window grid pattern are you going to have in the window? Do all the windows have to have them? What color are the windows going to be? So the blueprints need to be finalized so that all of the window sizes are finalized. And then if you're building for a customer, or if you're doing a spec home, you need to have your selection made as far as what windows you're going to be using, what color, the grid pattern, everything, so that as soon as you've got that selection, and as soon as you've got the blueprints, you can order those windows. And same thing goes for the exterior doors. Exact same thing there. Now, garage doors are another thing that has really, there's issues with steel shortage, and that, I guess, plays into what the reasoning is. But normally, we would order garage doors, right around the time that we're going into insulation. Let the garage door contractor know that, hey, we're going to be drywalling in a couple of weeks, and we'll be ready for the doors then to go on. Well, it's different now. Now we are having to order the garage doors pretty much right when we're starting, and even then with certain colors, black is a color, and with certain brands, you're looking at not getting these doors until when the home's going to be done, or even after it's done. And that presents a problem, because you want the garage doors to get put on as soon as you start to have things delivered to the home. So once the home is drywalled and you're starting to finish in the home, you're going to be delivering trim, you're going to be delivering cabinets. You want to be able to close the garage door and protect that stuff and lock it. And if you don't have the garage door, you can't do that. So I guess you're just moving everything inside, making sure it's inside, and keeping the garage empty, because you've got to keep the house moving. But, to answer the initial question of, how are we dealing with that? Well, if we're building a spec home, before we even start that spec home, we are going to have all of our selections made. We're going to have our garage doors picked. We're going to have our windows picked. We're going to have all of our selections made. Just want to throw in about my consulting/coaching service that I offer. I've got 2 different options. I'm going to put the details in the description below. But if you are somebody that have already built a spec home and you're wanting to take things to a next level, or you've never done so and you're looking for what those first steps are and need guidance through the process, that's what this is all about. So check out the details below. So selections are definitely a big part of avoiding delays and dealing with delays, making sure you know what you're going to order, and then ordering, knowing how far in advance you need to order things. For example, the garage doors again, that's something now that you want to make sure you're ordering far enough in advance so that you're not just getting to a certain point and then the house is sitting waiting for something to go in there. Cabinets would be another example of that. Making sure that you order the cabinets as soon as you possibly can. So it's more crucial than ever to be able to order things as soon as you can, as opposed to the other way around there. You maybe had some fluff time in the past where you could get away with ordering cabinets, a few weeks before you needed them, but now that's not the case. Utilities are a big thing. Gas and electric, and sewer and water hookups, but gas and electric, at least with us, is going to take, between 3 to 8 weeks, depending on the schedule of the power company. And we can't actually order and say we're ready for gas and electric until we're actually ready for it. So the house has to be framed up, and the site has to be cleared of any dirt or debris or material, so that they can come and they can trench in the ground and run the utilities to us. And you want to make sure that you've had your electrician at the house as soon as it's done being framed up, or as soon as they've got somewhere to mount their service box to, they can do that. So that way when the power company gets there, the site's ready and the service box is there so they can energize the home. You don't want them to come, do work, and then they're not actually able to turn power on yet because you don't have a service box installed. So you want to make sure that gets done. And getting gas and electric, depending on what time of year it is crucial to moving forward. If you're in the winter months and you're in a cold area, you may not be able to do certain things like drywall or pour concrete without heat, and you need gas and power for heat. Depending on where you are, you may have a sump pump that's running. You may need to pump water out of a basement, a crawl space. So you need to have power to do that. And then sewer and water laterals as well. You're more reliant there on the excavator or the plumber that you're going to be using to do that. But the same thing goes there. Make sure that you find out from the excavator or from the plumber how far out that they are. And you can contact them right around the time that you're starting your home and find out, hey, what is your lead time? And if they say, I need a month in advance notice in order to be able to meet the date, then once you actually do start the house, you can give them a call a month before you're actually going to need those sewer and water hookups. So those are really the things that you can do. Now if there are certain things that come up, maybe I keep going back to garage doors because this is like the hot one for us right now. Maybe the particular garage doors that you're going to order just are not going to be available by the time that you need them. Well, I would suggest looking at a different brand of garage doors. Now we've got enough experience now to where, when it comes to cabinets, garage doors, things like that, we've got a couple different brands that we're familiar with and have used before. So if I can't get a certain color in my Haas overhead garage door, then I'm going to check out CHI or vice versa. So if there are certain things, even plumbing fixtures through a certain Moen or Kohler or Delta or whomever it is, if those aren't going to be available for extended amounts of times that are going to delay you, then I would look at ordering a different brand there. And still trying to go through the same installer that you use for garage doors, through the same supplier that you use for plumbing fixtures, or through the same plumber, but just changing up and trying to get something that can come in a little more quickly. And just keeping on the contractors that are working in the house, making sure that if the trim carpenter's there, what I usually like to do is, once the trim carpenter starts the house, they can kind of get into things a little bit, and then, hey, let me know if there's anything that you need. Make me a list if there's things that you're missing, if there's things that you see that you're going to need. If somebody starts the job, you don't want them to have to leave. So no matter who it is, no matter what trade it is, check with them when they start, and make sure, kind of do a walkthrough with them, make sure there's not anything that's missing. They may not be able to see it right away until they kind of start getting into things, but let them know, hey, call me. The second you notice something is missing, I'll make sure and get it here. Keep people there working at the house, because if somebody leaves to go somewhere else and the other job has everything there and it's a 2-week job, they could just stay there for the whole 2 weeks and then come back. And I mean, really, you can't say anything about it. They're going to say, well, hey, your job wasn't ready. This one was. We got to make sure we're accounting for all of these other things and doing these other things better, so that we're not going past an 8.5 month build time. We don't want to be 1 year for the build when there's certain things that we could have done to avoid that. And again, time is money. The sooner you can build that spec home and put it up for sale, the better off you're going to be. So that's all I got for this one. If you don't already subscribe, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications so you get notified of more videos like this. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thank you, and have a great rest of the day.